Hey everyone, thanks for joining. I know we've got another face here joining myself and Kurt. Krishna, how are you?
I'm very good. Greetings from India. Namaste.
We're balancing a bunch of time zones, pretty much almost across the globe here. Kurt, how are you? Been a week since we chatted.
I'm doing great. It was like an awesome day for us today. People are excited. We're excited. And, I'm thrilled to introduce people who haven't had a chance to hear or meet Krishna, who is, leading the charge in India for us.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go into the details here. I know a lot of people asking questions. Nice that you're there as well. We'll go over some advertising stuff as well. But Krishna, do you want to kick it off? Maybe a little bit of your background and maybe how you get involved in the Q, and then we'll go from there.
Sure, I can do that. So, Jason, I've been in the media business for the last 16 years. Just worked across Times of India, worked across groups like Network 18. My last assignment before Q was as the chief marketing officer for a group called Sakal Media, which is one of the leading regional publishers in India. I met Kurt about 2.5 years back, and with his great vision and the kind of things that he was talking about, especially in India, considering where even today television is gold standard. I mean, digital is growing, but even today, people, anything that they want to believe in terms of media, it's television. And Kurt had this great idea of trying to cater to an audience which is very unique. It is a 13 to 35 years young Indian who today probably get a lot of content on digital, but not essentially on television. So, and Kurt was trying to bridge that gap. It kind of excited me, and that's where I got involved. I've been with the Q for the last 2.5 years now. It's been a great journey. I was practically the first employee probably Kurt hired in India. And for me, coming from a sales background and a marketing background, for me to set up an entire company, learn distribution with Kurt and the other management team members, and also set up an entire office in India. So, we started from a small office at WeWork, and today we have a huge office in Bombay. We started from a one-member team. Today we are about 28 to 30-member team in India. So yeah, we've grown, and we've seen the growth across multiple different places as well. I mean, you see our ratings have gone up. Overall sales numbers have gone up. We've now started offering very unique solutions to all our advertisers. So yeah, the recall value and the top of the mind recall with advertisers or ad agencies have actually increased. Yeah. That's about me and my journey till now.
For people that aren't sure, they've never gone to the Yahoo Finance page or whatever. Do you want to give me your what you do for the Q in sentence or two? Obviously, I can read off a chief revenue officer. What does that mean? What's the day-to-day, week-to-week look like for you?
So while my designation is like Kurt always says, designation is just for the name of it. You run the show and you do everything around. So yeah, my day starts typically, if I have to tell you how my day starts. First thing in the morning is a call with Kurt.
Because that's coffee.
Yeah. and then it starts off, so we check the revenue pipeline on a day-to-day basis. What kind of revenues are coming in? What's the kind of leads that we have? What are the closures happening? Then I dive into programming in terms of what's happening on the programming side. What kind of content are we acquiring? What kind of pipeline do we have in content? Then it goes to the other operational part, what's happening on scheduling, what's happening on distribution. Yeah, so revenue, but my foremost focus is revenue. That's always been the focus, come what may, yeah.
Awesome. Oh, cool. Well, thanks for the intro, Kurt. I know, hey, you could probably ask some great questions here. I know, I want you to have part of the show here. What if you wanted to ask, questions? I know we're trying to go over, what goes into, finding advertisers and all that stuff. But do you have any kind of specific questions you want to go through, and we'll go from there?
Well, I think Krish, I think what would be cool for people to know is that we really are building, because we're not there yet. We're building a unique advertising proposition. We think we've got something really unique in the marketplace. And, in a country like India, there's a lot of ideas out there. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's not that easy to have something unique. That's a good thing, but it's hard work. And I think it's also introducing and changing people's ideas about how they can do something. So Krish, it'd be interesting, I think, for people to hear sort of about what you think about our approach, what's unique, and where that, you know, what's happened today and where we see it going.
Yeah, okay, sure. So let me talk about the three verticals of advertising and how unique is that, and how are we different in terms of the offering as well on content. I can speak that, yeah.
It's all yours.
Okay. Jason, if you look at why Q as a brand is very different as compared to whatever is available in the market at the moment. Both, you know, be it if you look at from the angle of an advertiser or even from an angle of a viewer. So let me give you first the point on the viewer. Today, if you look at the viewer, you have a lot of content which is available across digital, television, but the unique proposition that we offer is the best of social media. You know, we kind of hunt the best of social media. We pick up those stars, we curate that content, and actually put it on a television blog. So the content that we offer is extremely unique. This is something the 13 to 35 today wants to watch, and we understand the pulse. We are growing. We are wanting to be the preferred destination for the youth. We are walking that path at the moment. We will reach there. And if you look at the kind of numbers that we've got and probably the kind of programming lineup that we are coming up with, for example, we've just launched a show called Kya Bolta Insta. Now, Kya Bolta Insta is basically the best of Instagram. So there are two hosts who are basically talking to each other. They're playing pranks on each other, talking about what's the most happening thing on Instagram in India. So that's the kind of content that we're building. And now let me give you the advertising perspective. Now, when you go to a marketer or an advertiser, what is the biggest challenge in India? You have to buy all the media vehicles separately. Q probably is one of the few who basically offers you everything on a platter. I am available on the traditional TV, which is your linear broadcast. I'm available on most of the OTT platforms. I'm being available on most of your UGC platforms like Chingari. So when you buy me, you basically buy inventory across all platforms. I'm giving you higher reach. I'm giving you higher views. So yeah, so you know, it's a unique proposition that we're offering at the moment. And I think advertisers have now started taking note of us. So like, you know, I mentioned earlier, we are not there as yet, but we are walking towards it.
Yeah. Well, here, I got some questions for you. And I know, you know, obviously myself and Kurt have chatted a lot about the growth you guys have seen in really the past, what feels like 90 days, you know, call it 6 months. Why not? You know, how has that impacted kind of your role and a lot of your conversations? You know, going from, I remember, you know, when me and Kurt did our first chat about, we hit a 1 rating point, holy, and, you know, obviously the impacts that happens with, you know, we were chatting about, hey, advertisers now know we exist. Talk to me now with where we're at. Obviously we've talked, you know, we're bouncing, you know, a little bit above 3 here. Talk to me, you know, how that's impacted your conversations with advertisers.
So, you know, when we started off at about, when we hit the first GRP, which is 1, we were over the moon and we were very excited. So when we started reaching out to some of the advertisers, they still had a little bit of rigidness because for them, there is a benchmark of you hitting a particular, GRP, which is your gross rating point, before they actually start, doing a pilot with you. What we uniquely did is we reached out to some of the brands. We actually gave them a unique proposition, like I mentioned about how we are available across multiple platforms. And we wanted them to take a risk on us. They did that, and some of them have now started getting into year-long deals. So yeah, as and when our rating points have gone up, we've seen advertisers also getting very, very excited. So people have now started trusting us as a brand that can deliver the kind of messaging that they want to do. So yeah, we've kind of hit the first, I would say the first floor. I mean, sky is still pretty far, but yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I say, I don't, what is it in cricket? Do they use innings in cricket? I don't even know. What's the first, in baseball, it's the first inning of the game. There's 9 innings. What is it in cricket? So
it's the first 6 that we've hit now. There are many 6s that we need to hit. Yeah,
so we're in the first 6 in cricket.
I was getting some really interesting questions and you know, some good questions. And I know there's a ton of new people looking at the queue. And I know Kurt does his best to engage with a ton of them in the Telegram. I know Jace, you know, shout out to Jace with a lot of his work there as well. And here, you know, one question I've seen come up, which I think is interesting, and you're a perfect person to answer. You say here you're asking advertisers to take a gamble, take a risk. Someone asked here, as the queue grows, does the advertiser benefit more from the viewers growing as well, or is this a pay for impressions type of advertising? I thought that was an interesting question. I could probably think of the answer, but I'd love to ask you. Obviously people are familiar with, here maybe you're watching, Fox Sports, or you're watching, ESPN, whatever it is, and there's that same ad that's between this time and this time. I'm curious, do you want to give anyone some insight on how that works on the queue?
So we have both the platforms. That's exactly why I said, because you have a feed that goes into linear broadcast, which is your pay TV. We are, by the way, so pay TV in India has multiple definitions. I'll come to that. But we also are present across OTT platforms. So both the models work for us. One is where obviously as the rating point goes up, obviously the revenue also goes up. That's your pure play, what you call FCT campaign, which is called the free commercial time campaign. Now, if there is an advertiser who basically wants to look at only on OTT, we can serve them with only OTT, which is your cost per impression or CTRs. Those matrices will play a whole through there. So we have both the composition. But what happens today is we have now started getting into a mode of wanting to monetize our digital assets. So all the feeds that goes into all your OTT platform like Z5 or a Dishwatcher, any of these guys, Airtel Extreme, Reliance Jio, there is a way we can monetize that, and we are getting into that stream now. To also give you a little bit of insight, we are on the verge of wanting to launch some new shows on Snap in India, which again would be a revenue model that we're working with those guys. So there are a lot of things that's happening on the digital side standalone. But to answer your question, yes, we have a module where you can pay as per the GRP that we have. We also have a module where you can buy digital on a CPM basis as well.
Yeah. So here, a question for you, and I think, and it's funny, this was a part two, and you're getting right to it. Someone says, if you're signing a year-long deal, but the queue continues to grow, are you guys, is there models where they pay more as you guys grow? How does that work? People are curious.
So today, when we look at most of the agencies, there is a base price that we offer, based on the current GRP levels that we are. We are like now averaging about 3.5 GRP. So there's a base price that we actually ask from them. Now the second slab, obviously there's a slab, and slab-wise, obviously the rates also go up.
Got it. Oh, awesome. Well, look, I think that was a fantastic insight, into a bunch of things. And hey, awesome to hear you guys are doing some unique things on the digital side. I know Kurt's been pushing that pretty heavy on some videos too, and we can go into more details in the future. Kurt, any questions advertising wise that we want to go through?
Well, I think, I think actually Krishna's covered a lot of it. I mean, look, when I talk about being in the first six of the first inning, while we're all thrilled with how fast the stock is appreciated and obviously very excited about that, we all know, and I just keep saying the same thing over and over and over again, which is that we're just starting to build this and grow. I mean, we have some distribution plans that I can't talk about specifically right now, but trust me, Krishna and I and the team are working extremely hard, and Sunder and all of us that are on the distribution side and building our distribution reach across all the platforms, whether it's television, OTT, mobile-based, app-based, whatever it may be. So that's a big priority. We also, are constantly tweaking the programming and getting more and more into looking for custom opportunities for advertisers to attach. I mean, we don't have a brand sponsor yet for Kia Bolta Insta, but we're working on a couple of things in that regard, and we hope to have stuff like that. And we have more programs planned and in the works where that would be possible. We also believe that we're going to continue to grow in our ratings. I mean, distribution and ratings kind of go hand in hand to a certain extent, but we've seen what's happened has happened organically. And so as we get more distribution and we know that we can monetize it more effectively, then I can also assure you that you're going to see stronger marketing efforts that are going to happen behind that. So, when you look at this whole thing, it's sort of like, the band just went on stage. We haven't even played our first song yet. And everybody in the crowd's excited and going like this, but we're just about to play our first track. The concert's just about to start. And so we feel that same energy and excitement. It's literally almost like a rock show. The band hits the stage and it's like, oh, yeah. And then it goes. And that's kind of where we are as a company right now. Yeah. And that's everybody's so pumped. I think that's why investors are excited. That's why Krishna and I are excited. That's why our viewers are excited. That's why advertisers are excited.
Hey, the positivity that you can see kind of across the board is fantastic, pushing things. Krishna, curious, like, the past 8 weeks have been insane. Have you guys been feeling that excitement over there in India as well?
Fantastic. So early morning, first thing I do is check the stock price, because that's probably your evening. And I the first thing I do is ping good. Whatever the stock price. Yeah.
28 cents.
Super excited.
Are you doing one of the whole, like, what is
Yeah. It's like this.
and my answer back is always sell some more ads.
No, it's awesome. Well, hey, so curious, and I know we were chatting just before I hit record. Krishna, you're in the office there in India, correct?
Yes, I am in the office.
Yeah, I know it would be kind of weird to walk around with your laptop, but Kurt, what do we think?
Oh, it's early in the morning. Let's see who's shown up early in the morning in our Mumbai office. Check it out. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
nice.
Yeah, be the tour guide.
Go on. Hey, Rohan.
Hey, Rohan. How are you, buddy?
Hey.
Rohan does all of our scheduling and all of the stuff revolving around how the programs are put together and ultimately aired.
Cool.
Let's try and figure out if you have anybody in the programming. Oh, that's our.
There's the cue.
Oh, not bad. Hey, how are you?
I haven't even been, Jason, they moved into this office as we were growing since the last time I was in India was in
That's a programming bay. That's a programming bay.
Wow.
Krishna, you're going to have to crack the whip. Nobody's in there early in the morning like you.
Yeah, so we are 9:30 because we have 10 minutes to go. People
9:30 is the official time. Well, I see. That's yeah. Well, I see that they have to work late at night as well, Jason.
Oh, yeah. So we practically, I think most of the guys are practically working at least between average of 14 to 16 hours.
Wow. It's an nonstop shop. So everything's growing that much. That's incredible. Hey, that's great news to anyone, listening to these, of course. Well, awesome. No, that was a cute little tour. Cool. Kurt, you're saying you haven't been there just yet. COVID, I guess, slowed things down.
And of course, we see Krishna's got his Liverpool banner over his shoulder there too. The former winners of the Premier League.
Yeah, that's okay. We have a bad season this year. It's a bad season for us. Good. That's okay. We'll be back.
As we call it in Toronto, a building season for the past 20 years. No, fair. Well, awesome. Krishna, thanks so much for joining. We'll definitely have to do some more of these, as you guys get a little busier, as we have some cool announcements. I know we can mix it in here with some stuff we're doing. But Kurt, anything else you wanted to go over?
No. I think I just wanted, more and more people to meet some of the team members. Krishna's done, an amazing job of continuing to build this with us. As you well know, Jason, we've been slogging away for a while, and COVID, hit us with a cricket bat pretty hard in the back of the legs. And, but we got through last spring and summer, and fall things started happening, and 2021 is going to be a huge year for us. So couldn't be more excited about what the future holds for Q India in 2021.
Well, you kind of ended it perfectly. I've got nothing else to say. Krishna, thanks so much for joining. This was awesome.
Thank you so much, Jason. Super excited to talk to you. And yeah, let's connect soon.
Yeah, no, awesome. For anyone who's made it this far, if you've got questions, let us know. We could definitely do some fun things with the team over there and mix in some cool questions. But Krishna, thanks so much for joining. Kurt, as always, I'll see you next week.
Thank you. Namaste.
Hey,
Thank you.
guys. Namaste.